If age is just a number, then jail is just a place. This is and Cries. Hello, blessed bells. This is LaBelle Chantel, and I'm back with another video. Today's topic is about reasons why older men approach and date much younger girls. And I'm talking about preteens to teenagers.
It's creepy. Yeah, it's creepy. And if you have been dating someone, or you're talking to someone, or you know someone who's been dating a much older man, we need to talk. Okay, we got to talk. So today we're gonna talk about older men who like teen and preteen girls. So I'm talking about those men that approach younger girls, and after they're told, I'm only 16, I'm only 10, I'm only 12, they still talk to these girls and even lie about their age so that they can get to know them and date them. You know, we have to talk about this because it's raising more than just eyebrows. This is something that could save your life. Okay, so stay tuned and keep watching. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe. So today I'm going to talk about why older men really approach preteens and teenage girls. I'm also going to talk about what these men really think about themselves, like how they feel about themselves, and why some girls are okay with this type of relationship, and also what to do if you are approached by an older man in that type of way, sexually. You've probably seen it in like the magazines or even in Hollyweird, which I like to call it, where, you know, older men actually prefer younger girls and they flaunt it. I mean, it's kind of like them showing off their youth, you know, like claiming themselves to be more youthful because they have arm candy. These men are going for girls that are basically Gen Zers, you know, so girls that are sometimes it could be in mid-20s, but they go even younger. So I really want to know, and I've been trying to figure out why men go for younger girls as young as someone who's in their like adolescent stage, prepubescent stage, as in like maybe a 10-year-old or 13-year-old. And I wanted to know, what is the cutoff age? How young is too young for these men? I'm sure we've all seen older men with young girls. I mean, it makes me want to puke in my mouth when I see a 50-year-old with a 16-year-old. I mean, come on, that's like, that could be your father, okay? It's like your father, like your grandfather, like, come on. Grandpa with like his granddaughter type of relationship, right? I know we've all seen it, and if you haven't, I'm happy you haven't seen it, okay? It's disgusting. Some people make this claim that older men preferred younger girls, or they're more hardwired to prefer younger girls because younger girls are more fertile, right? Younger girls are more fertile, or because men are more visual creatures than women. But how much of this is really true? Could it be a cover-up for the real truth, the actual truth? I mean, let's find out. One of the reasons why an older man, like someone that's, to me, an older man is someone that's like 30s, 40s, but I'm sure to a teenage girl, an older man could be someone who's like 20 and up, even 18 and up. Reason why older men of all decades prefer younger girls, the reason why is because they believe that younger girls are more fertile. However, studies have shown that younger girls actually, like a girl who's like a teenager, has a less developed body. And so if a girl has a less developed body, chances are higher of her having a stillbirth, or there's a higher mortality rate with her and her child during childbirth. You know, there's a lot of complications that come with a girl not having a fully developed body. And some younger girls may also neglect prenatal care and going for checkups and just being consistent with the whole pregnancy term because they themselves are still young. Not saying that a teenager isn't capable of being able to give birth. However, it's much more complicated for them because they're still learning about life. And so for a man to just look at a younger girl and say, or a teenage girl or preteen and say that, oh, I want her because she's more fertile, it doesn't really, that's, yeah, they're more fertile, but they still have underdeveloped bodies as opposed to someone in their mid-20s or in their 30s. So one of the real reasons why an older man may be dating you, if you're a teenager, if you're a teenage girl, a preteen, and you're dating an older man, maybe you're 13, and you're dating someone who's 20 or 25 or 30 or 40 or 50. Yeah, if you're dating someone that old, that ancient, you need to stop it. The reason why an older man may be interested in you as a teenager or a preteen is because they see you or they view you as inexperienced and naive. I mean, think about it. In this world, age is power. I mean, men usually would say that age is power, and they refer that to a younger girl because she's more youthful, she's more vibrant, which is true. However, a younger girl hasn't really experienced what an older man has experienced. I mean, heck, a younger woman hasn't experienced what an older woman has experienced. And so with that, you're basically relying on this man to school you about life. And that's where the imbalance of power comes to play. I mean, you literally have to depend on this man. And men usually feel more, what way for a man to feel more dominant than to have someone who has no choice but to depend on him because he has more knowledge in life experience. He has more wealth and life experiences. Regardless of how this older man's life has played out, this younger girl has to depend on him. And so it makes him feel more dominant, more in control about his own life, even if he isn't in control of his life. Even if his life is falling apart, he feels like his life is intact because you are in it. But that doesn't mean that it's a good thing. He's taken advantage of the fact that you don't have wealth and experience in life, that you don't know how different types of people work in this world. He's using that to his advantage. And so I just want you to know that if a man, a much older man, is dating you or has approached you to date you or to get to know you, he's definitely looking to have more control over you and power over you. So another reason why an older man will approach you if you're a teenager, I mean, teenagers, I've seen them around, they're vibrant. Yes, they're youthful, they're fun, they're curious. I love my teenage girls. I love my preteen girls. Like, where you at, preteens and teens? I love you. You are all blessed and beautiful girls, but I want you to know that if you have been approached by a much older man, and whether it be online or physically, and they're trying to get to know you, and just be careful, because this man may be just using you for sexual gratification. An older man who should be on his A game, who should feel like a manly man, do you really think that he's more confident being with you or less confident within himself for trying to approach you or trying to get sex out of you? When an older man approaches a younger girl, whether it's online or physically in person, this older man wants you to drop your guard. And so they may want just quick sex. It could be sex through sexting, or just exchange of pictures online, that sexting. It could be, having physical intercourse. It could be different ways. It's all forms of sexual abuse. And so if you are being approached by a much older man, please, young girls, be aware that this man may be trying to use you, trying to get you to drop your guard, be comfortable with him, so that because you have a built trust within him, he may use that against you. And even after he gets what he wants from you, he will manipulate you to make you feel that no one will hear your voice, that you, like, your voice doesn't matter, that you have to continue giving that to him, because already he's built that bond with you to make you feel that you are beautiful, you're more mature. You know, that's what they usually say to groom these girls. You're more mature. But I'm letting you know that he's only doing it just to have a quick sex with you. It's not love. Girls your age, girls in every age, usually think men love the way women love, but it's not the same. A man doesn't love the way a woman loves. A man can have sex with a lot of different girls and not love any of them, right? And a man can also not have sex with a girl whom he loves and truly love her. And so men are not wired the same way as women. They're wired to provide and to protect. And if a man is having sex with you, a much older man is having sex with you while you are young, is he truly protecting you? Is he protecting your youth? Is he protecting your virtue? Think about that. All right, another reason why an older man, a much older man, dates younger girls, like teenage girls and tweens, is because he wants to feel young again. I mean, even when you look on the magazines and you look in Hollywood, there's a lot of different guys who date much younger girls. I'm not gonna go into that because those type of men, they could be maybe like a 40-year-old dating a 20-year-old, or a 50-year-old dating a 35-year-old, whatever. You know, people have their own thoughts on that. But for me, I'm mostly focused on men who date teenagers and tweens, because those girls still have a lot of life to live. You know what I mean? Don't you want to enjoy your youth? These men who usually would date a younger girl are basically trying to steal your shine. They're trying to take your youth and add it to their age. We're gonna get into the subsets of pedophilia. So for all my preteens, all my teenage girls who have been approached or are dating much older men, I just want you to know that what these men truly feel about themselves is, one, that they have low self-esteem. So the low self-esteem is such a broad thing, but this trait is also found in men who are pedophiles, meaning that this is a disorder for people who have sexual urges and sexual thoughts, and then they engage in this type of nasty behavior towards children who are 13 and younger. He can also be hephilia. This is someone who also has a disorder that is sexually attracted to and engages in sexual behaviors and has sexual urges and fantasies towards children who are between 12 and 14. Or this man could also be an ephebophile, meaning this is someone who has a disorder that they're basically attracted to teenage kids between age 15 to 19, and they engage in sexual activities, or they try to, and have sexual urges when they see them in fantasies. When these men are approaching you, just know that they have these type of traits. They're also predators. You know, predators usually look for girls who are more vulnerable, or that have that look that, oh, I can take advantage of them. And so don't be too happy when you are being approached by a much older man, because he may have a totally different idea. I know a lot of young girls, I mean, even some older women, but mostly young girls don't know about this world, and they assume that if a man is approaching them, that he must think so highly of her, that she will fall in love and it'll be a fairy tale, yada yada yada. But I'm here to let you know, as a big sister who dearly loves you, that please don't, I would not talk to those type of men, because they can do much worse than you think. Another reason why a man who's much older may approach you, so think about it, a man who's 30, boom, 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 this man has to have his ish together. He got to have a few degrees under his belt, a good job, okay, a car, all right? He has his own place. No 26 to maybe 30-year-old will date a man who is in his 30s that doesn't have his own place. right? So, I mean, that's just like the basic stuff, right? If this man, and this man also has to be basically progressing in life, progressing, upward movement. Younger girls, like teenage girls and tweens, are not thinking about this. And if they are, you get a round of applause. Okay, I'm so happy for you because you're on a straight path to knowing and having high standards. When it comes to these type of men, they don't usually have much going on for themselves, and that's why they approach younger girls, because a younger girl, like a teenage girl, would make them feel like it will give them an excuse to settle for less. It will give them an excuse to not become their best, because this teenage girl wouldn't really know the difference and she wouldn't expect for much, right? As opposed to an older woman. Most likely a teenage girl would be okay with a McDonald's date, as opposed to an older woman who has learned about herself, who's more sophisticated, who's developing herself to become a well-rounded woman, a cultured woman. She's looking to go to an upscale restaurant even on their first date. And so the younger girl basically has a lower standard, which is understandable because a teenager isn't really going out to fine dining unless that's how they were raised, right? And so I just want you to know that if an older man is approaching you, it's because, and they're trying to get to know you, I mean, they are definitely predatory and they don't really have much going on in their life. They are being rejected by women around their age group, even though they say that women younger are more full of life and older women are bitter. Is because an older woman knows better, and so she does better and she doesn't take any less. That's one of the real reasons why they may approach you. And that's why I'm just advocating for younger girls to enjoy your youth. It's okay to like boys around your age group. And even if you don't like boys around your age group, focus on yourself. Work on yourself. Take up a new hobby. There's so many things that you can do. There's so many hobbies that you can take up, so many things even on this platform alone. And I'm just encouraging you to do that because you'll be so much happy. Like, you will make so many friends doing these hobbies, and it will take you so much further than wasting your youth on a man who's willing to expose you to a lot of harm. Now we're going to talk about why some teens and preteen girls feel like it's okay, when an older man approaches them. And number one is because this girl may be experiencing daddy issues. Maybe your dad was never around. Maybe you didn't have a good father figure to look up to tell you that, you should avoid older men, and older men want some of the things that I mentioned previously, and that you should focus on your youth and enjoying life as a teenage girl. You probably didn't have that guidance. And so it's understandable that, you would want to be loved. Everybody wants to be loved. Number two is definitely, or it could be that they had some sexual trauma in the past, sexual abuse in the past. Maybe it was someone that, was a family member, a family friend. Sexual abusers, older men who do approach teenage girls, they do it in a way where they drop your defenses. You drop your guard, you lower your guard, and you build trust with them. And they're able to manipulate you in that sense so that they can get what they want out of you. If you have experienced any sexual trauma, sexual abuse in the past, that could be the reason why you are okay with dating a much, much older man, because you don't really know how to set the boundaries for yourselves. You don't really feel like you have total control over your body or a say over your body because you've been violated in the past. I would like you to really look at that, take a look at your life and analyze that, and maybe contact a counselor in your school and seek therapy so that you can work on yourself, so that by the time you're 20, you would be able to unpack all of that and become and grow into a full adult, you know, a happy adult who isn't carrying on so much trauma and, you know, it being a ripple effect leading into different areas of your life. This is why a preteen and a teenage girl may be okay with the idea of dating and engaging in sexual activity with a much older man is because they're being groomed. When it comes to grooming, I've been seeing a lot in my research. I saw that a lot of girls said that they approached or they talked to men because these men made them feel more mature. They were called mature because when the men approached them, they were able to hold conversation with them and they felt comfortable. But I'm here to let you know that when a much older man is calling a teenage girl an adult or more mature, he's just doing that to make you feel a sense of power. It's fake power. He's doing it so that you will feel like, wow, yeah, I am an adult. Yeah, look at me. I'm grown. I'm on my grown woman-ish. I'm on my grown woman status. But little do you know, he's behind the scenes setting up different things and different ways on how to trick and manipulate you so that you will have sex with him, you will fall in love with him, you will do as he says. He can even use it to isolate you. He can use it to blackmail you. And so, like, for instance, you may send him a nude picture and he'll tell you to keep sending him more, or even meet with him in person, because if you don't, he's gonna share your nude videos or your nude picture everywhere, you know. And that has a lot to do, it stems from the whole grooming process. You felt comfortable with him and he got you. I'm so happy that girls are really standing up to these predators, because I've seen a couple of TikTok videos going around where a young girl, I think she was like maybe 15 or something. Yeah, she was like 13 or 15. She was approached by this man who basically wanted sex. And the man was telling her that he just wants 10 minutes from her and, you know, he'll pay her money afterwards. And it's like, he's sick, okay? This sick, twisted man who needs to be put in jail for life, okay, was asking this little girl for sex. And the little girl looked like she was I think she was probably waiting on someone to pick her up. I don't know. The whole scene looked like she was waiting at a bus stop, or she was waiting for someone to pick her up. But basically she was alone. But the girl was so brave that she recorded this man without him knowing, and the whole conversation. And, you know, she basically told the man off, and the man didn't ask her any more questions. But imagine if they didn't get his image, like they didn't have any information about him. They would have been able to catch him, but I don't think it would take basically a longer time for them to catch him. I'm letting all girls know that if you are approached by a man and you can record him, or even if you can get like a voice recorder just to hear what he's like, for your parents or an older adult or the police to hear how he sounds or what they're saying, maybe they can find a way to link him, but try to document something about him. What to do when and if a grown man approaches you. One thing that I want you to do is to let them know your age. Let them know what your age is, you know. But if you let them know what your age is and they still insist to talk to you, then you know that's an issue. Walk away, do whatever you can to get away from them. A grown man knows that if he has to ask you for your age, then 9 times out of 10, you're a minor. But if that man still talks to you, even though you're a minor, and he thinks age is just a number, then baby, if age is just a number, then jail is just a place, okay? The men who approach young girls online if you're ever approached online, like you're contacted online and you don't know this person, you could tell they're older than you and they're just trying to get you to be comfortable, become friends with you, date you, talk to you over the phone, that sort of thing. But the main conversation is online. I want you to first tell an adult, tell someone that you can trust, an adult that you can trust, and I want you to let that adult to document everything, okay? So that you can report it to the police. If you can document everything on your own, meaning you save all the conversations and you make sure you save their screen name, you save their picture, just find different things about them. When you're speaking to someone and they're trying to get information out of you, trying to get nude pictures from you or things that don't make you feel comfortable and you know this person is preying on you, stop talking to them. You're not the only person that this person is preying on. I'm gonna leave below a couple of links to help you to report these sexual predators. If you've ever experienced this or you're experiencing that right now, please report it. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel like, like you're gonna lose something. You have so much to gain from doing this. I want you to report it. Some of these tip lines are anonymous. And some of them you can actually let them know who you are, but I'm gonna leave the link below, the links below so that you can report it, all right? So that you can get the help that you need and be protected. Once you experience this, it really takes a toll on your mental health. I understand. I want you to prioritize your self-care, okay? Whether it's talking to a friend, a family member, basically someone you trust, an adult that can give you sound advice. I want you to also keep a journal and journal how you feel about what you have experienced and how it's making you feel, but most importantly, how you will overcome it. I want you to just relax, play some relaxing music, watch your favorite show, watch something that will make you laugh. Just wind down and realize that it's okay. There are millions of people who have experienced exactly what you've experienced. You are not alone. We as a society really need to carefully examine why some men cannot control their urges and are triggered to lust, triggered to approach, triggered to fantasize, triggered to sexually abuse preteens and teenage girls. There are no ands, ifs, or buts about it. Men of today's society need to get it together. Either you lead with a good moral and ethical compass, or you go behind bars. Okay? These are the things that separate us from animals. Just because you can act on your triggers, your sexual triggers, doesn't mean that you should. Men should be more evolved enough to know that a teenage or preteen girl is a no-go. That is a minor. And give these girls a time to enjoy their youth because they actually may lack the maturity to give consent. I want to know if you've ever experienced this, if you are a teenager or a preteen and you've ever been approached by a much older man. How did they make you feel? Like, were you okay with it because you were trying to fill a void, or did you just kind of go along with it, or did you tell somebody about it, or did you stop talking to it? I want you to share your thoughts and comments down below, okay? Don't be shy. Maybe you saw someone going through this and you were able to protect them, or maybe you didn't speak up. I want you to share with me your ideas and thoughts and comments on this matter, because this is something that is so prevalent in today's world. It's so common, and you have no idea how many people have experienced being approached by a sexual predator and they didn't even realize it. Again, my name is LaBelle Chantel. Thank you so much for joining me. Till next time, I'll see you soon. Stay safe out there. Remember, I love you and God loves you. Bye.